You guys, this is Western civilization right here. This exact experience. They tell us when to stop. They tell us when we can go. Even though it's not logical, because, okay, that guy, those two cars, they're making it seem like these stoplights give us some sort of order, but the reason why we have order is because human beings can't seem to fend for themselves, for reasons that I somewhat agree with. But I think about this a lot, like, are these like primitive tribes in underdeveloped countries functioning better than we are? I don't know, because I'm not in those tribes. All I know is that this country is terrible. I get that there are certain elements of it that some might regard as positive. But I guess I'm just a stickler for like my primitive roots or something. Like, I feel like I'm a lot more in touch with the collective unconscious, or whatever the fuck. I'm a lot more aware of a lot of these things that it seems like our modern society has chosen to like remove themselves from, you know? By the way, if you're new to this channel, I talk out my ass about all kinds of shit. Aren't you glad I don't have a Twitter account? It's so crazy to me how people, they go on these social networks and they make all these really erroneous statements. And I mean, I don't take Twitter seriously, but a lot of people do. And it's a platform where you can make your voice heard, right? That's what they tell you it is. It's a platform where you can promote a lot of things that you're doing creatively, financially, and I guess that's good for those things. But it seems like more than that, it's a platform where people can promote themselves and their stupid, silly thoughts that don't make any sense, okay? Twitter is probably the worst thing that's ever happened to society. Now, I know that people will get on to me about this opinion, which is totally correct. Sociopaths enjoy websites like that. Sociopaths, narcissists, emotionally unstable people that don't have an identity, that require other people to validate them and either approve or disapprove of things that they say. Okay? Those are people that enjoy Twitter. Those are people that enjoy Instagram. Those are people that will defend to the ends of the earth their right to say whatever the fuck they want. And, you know, I'm not saying that you don't have that right. I'm not trying to take it away from you. I might make jokes about how I want freedom of speech to come to an end, but that doesn't mean that I actually feel that way. I'm just bitter. I'm just bitter about the society that I live in being so fucking stupid, and they're like unabashedly ignorant. And there's no accountability, you know? And just because somebody might be right about something, or they might make a statement that we agree with, doesn't mean that their lifestyle is something to emulate. That doesn't mean that they're a good person, with good intentions even. I don't even think most of these people know what their intentions are because they're not self-aware. And like I've said before, the lack of self-awareness is a disability. But the more that I think about it, and I'm probably going to talk about this tonight because I'm doing a mic at a weed bar once again. I missed the one last night. It ended like right when I got there. But it's like narcissism is a disability that you blame on everybody else. Like, people that are narcissists are disabled. Like, they really are, because they don't have any awareness of how they actually come across and how hypocritical they are, how ignorant, arrogant, and incompetent they are. They're doing the exact same thing that they complain about in other people. But because they don't ever think that, you know, they're capable of making a mistake. You know, any mistake that they make is because of somebody else. You know? And these are the people that, like, so many people do videos about, like reaction videos or whatever, and then it just adds to their ego, just fuels it, you know? So then they can keep telling themselves this lie of like, oh, people just don't understand me, and people are purposely misrepresenting me and shit like that, because they're delusional. You know, it's kind of like with the trans stuff, like, if you insist that you have something that you may or may not have, it might just be, you know, you looked at the wrong social media post and now you're convinced that you identify a certain way, right? Well, it's like, if anybody doesn't go along with that, you can try to get them canceled, or you can just keep believing this horse shit that, oh, you're just so misunderstood and you're a victim, you're a victim, you're a victim, you know? Society doesn't understand your needs. Your parents, I mean, it probably did have something to do with your parents, let's be real, but, you know, it's just stupid to keep blaming people, man. Like, I didn't have a very good relationship with my parents for a long time. But then after I started doing comedy, at first I was really arrogant about it, and then I ended up in a mental institution. And then I realized that denying God was stupid, and here it is, here it is, here it is. My biggest mistake was loving you too much, letting you know. Anyway, I had to do that. This was part of the song. What's so funny, like that line, my biggest mistake was loving you too much and letting you know. So if you're like really emotional and you are behaving in ways that are totally indicative of this, then it's very easy for people to manipulate you. And so that's not just in romantic relationships, and that's not just like, oh, women are manipulative and taking advantage of me. You know, it's like, I'm so fucking sick of this, let's blame this entire group of people for all the world's problems, you know? And so I'm grateful for these anti-feminists for like pulling me out of all that bullshit, because that's the last thing I want to do. It's just not helpful. All it does is advance really terrible people and feel their narcissism about everything. So I feel like there's a way that I can take on feminism without having to go like the anti-feminist route. It's just so silly. It's just an identity for so many people, you know? But it's like a lot of the stuff that people spew online, ask yourself this question. If there wasn't the internet, if there wasn't platform after platform after platform where we could just spew our bullshit, would any of these people be saying that? Do you think that if there weren't like countless amounts of TikTok videos and Instagram posts and Twitter feeds or whatever about said social contagion, and there's so many of them, okay? Do you think that like this world would be like half as crazy as it is? I mean, I know that people are crazy, and I know that technology has always existed. I know that like every era is just worse than the last one in regards to technological advancements and ways to self-destruct, okay? But like, oftentimes I ask myself that question. It's like, all these people, they're just sick. They're just really, really sick. And because they're looking for approval and validation from the world, they're never going to get it, first off. But second, it's like, if that's what they want, then it's very clear that like whatever they're saying and doing is probably not who they are. And so I try to remember that, like whenever people are really ugly and cruel, that they say really mean things that are just totally unnecessary. Vapor. Their words are vapor. But because this is society now, y'all have chosen this technology. Or maybe it's chosen you. Because it seems like the wiser people are, the less they want to do with that. People that I know that have social media and a smartphone, and they have to do social media because of their job, or they have to have a smartphone because, you know, they have to communicate in certain ways or whatever. It's like they know the dangers of it. But internet personalities are like scum of the fucking earth, dude. Of all the internet personalities, I feel like there are probably maybe like 200 of them that are total sacks of shit that should be set on fire. Okay? And that's not a threat. But these people are not people. Okay? Like, they're the junkies that I'm referring to, that have that little slot machine in their pocket. And anytime that people either praise them or insult them, that's another fake gold coin that they receive. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't mean anything. These people are fake. Okay? Fake people, fake opinions, fake promises. They're just like politicians, really. But I don't know, it's like, I've just been pondering that a lot, just like how fucking terrible our society is, and like the fact that we just like cater to this, man. We cater to this, and then we complain about it as if we have any right to complain about it, considering the fact that we chose to do that, you know? I mean, I'm a hypocrite because, you know, I spy on people. I spy on people via Twitter. I take the binoculars that they handed me and I inspect their brain. There ain't shit in there.